Okay, we're back now. Now that you've spent some time identifying the areas of your life that actually contributed to some really traumatic future decisions that you were wishing that you could make differently, but because of something that happened in your past, you're unable to really make that leap and make a different decision so that your future has a very different feel to it. So here's how we're going to do this, and this gets really exciting. I'm so excited to do this. Let's read this. When we take our past, which is yesterday, into our present, today, and even into our future, tomorrow, we are demonstrating that time is fluid and we can alter events from our past into the future. Does that make sense? And so you can see how that works. So time is a little bit more fluid. So something that happened to you 10 years ago had the power to actually alter your trajectory 10 years in the future. So how do we take our past into our present today and into our future tomorrow? Okay, so I've just given you the explanation of that. So I want you to write that down. Well, it adjusts my decisions, suddenly my perspective changes, and maybe I get scared, or maybe I realize, oh, I learned this negative thing here, which wasn't a healthy thing to learn. So the zone of learning needs to take place over some of these past events so you can learn something differently from that. And so I realized I get fearful, so I intentionally sabotage myself, or I put myself in a position to where I won't get a promotion, or whatever the situation is. This is where you're going to start explaining how a negative past experience will impact your present and future. So do you think there is a healthier way to alter future events? I mean, so right now we've explained that there's a negative way to influence future events. Do you think there's a positive way to influence future events? And is it even possible? Okay, well, let's keep going on. Let's see what happens. Okay, if I could find that by making small adjustments, I could alter my past, would I? Well, everybody has their hands up. Absolutely, I would totally do. I'd be on board with that. We've established that we can take things into the future, so let's look at taking things into the past. So how do you think that we do that? Let's think about that. How do you think that you can do it? All right, any ideas? Okay, well, I mean, you're probably scratching your head. Here's how we do it. All right, so what happens to my old way of life? Simple. Here's how we do it. What time frame, when we look at the three time areas, we have past, present, and future. Which time do we actually have direct control over? Our present day. So I have power today. So what if today I decide that I'm going to do something a little different? What if I have made a habit of practicing the 5-10 principle? Remember, we learned that earlier. 5 minutes a day, I'm going to practice thinking something positive. I'm going to laugh. I'm going to make great memories. I'm going to belly laugh, because remember, that's what we need to do, because we need to change the chemistry in our brain. And I'm going to belly laugh. And I'm going to like, oh, this was so funny. And I do this every day. And sometimes I do it many times a day. And then suddenly I realize, gosh, this is really good. I think I'm going to plan for a better day. So instead of getting up going, oh, I'm so depressed, I'm not going to have a good day, I'm going to intentionally plan today to do some really positive things. And so I'm going to go on a date with a girlfriend or guy friend. Well, I can't, I'm married, so it'd be my husband. So I'm going to go out with my husband, and I'm going to, do something I really enjoy doing. Read that book I really wanted to read. Watch that really good movie. Have a meaningful conversation with somebody. Just something that says, this enriched my day. I'm going to listen to a lecture, whatever it is that you really enjoy doing, and maybe you've neglected for a really long time. This is your chance to do it. So you have a responsibility now of creating at least 3 or more positive memories. Okay, got that? 3 or more positive memories today. And it might be just sitting down at the dinner table with your family and having a really great meal with a new recipe. Who knows? But saying, hey, we're going to have a good day today. And just really enjoying yourself and saying, this is going to be good today. So you're going to do that today. And then in the nighttime, you're going to talk about it. Hey, this was great. Here's my blessings, or here's the great thing that happened to me. So I'm going to talk about these tonight. And then what's going to happen? You're going to go to sleep. See? Off you go. You go to sleep, you wake up. What happened to those events that you had just created? Well, a day has passed, so now they've moved to what? Your past. So you've created a memory today, and now it's shifted and has become part of your past. And it's that simple, okay? So you're going to do that every day. Now, we're going to talk about what happens in the future. How are we going to alter that? I mean, do we just let it happen? Or are we going to take a real proactive way of adjusting that? As you continue to make positive memories today, you're going to start creating a huge gap between of positive memories and the negative memory. And so instead of just saying, you know, I'm miserable, I've just, you know, my past is so horrible, not so. You're going to now have a new frame of reference to start going to. So when you're looking at your day and your past, you're going to say, oh my gosh, I got to tell you what just happened. And then a year from now, you're going to say, do you remember when? And so you get to start creating a catalog, of, if you will, of positive life experiences. And what does that do to your chemistry in your brain? That's a game changer, because what it does is it lessens the emotional hold that that traumatic event had, because you're saturating it with positive, positive, positive. And because of that, it lessens the hold on that traumatic memory that you had that seems to be controlling your life. And if it lessens the emotional hold, what do you think is going to happen to the decisions that you make about your future? It's going to lessen that as well. And so it's going to put you on that pathway to where you're saying, hey, you know what? My past is not telling me where I'm going. No, it's part of my life, just like my life story, but it's not telling me where I'm going. It's just a tool, okay? So think about this. Start really intentionally planning what your day is going to look like, and make no less than 3 positive experiences that you can talk about in the evening before you go to bed. And then you're going to repeat that every single day. You're going to say, I'm going to grab the tiger by the tail. I'm going to love my life. I'm going to actually extract all the goodness out of it that I can get, but that means I have to intentionally build it. Okay, remember, you have to be in a time of peace to build, and that's the investment model. So we're showing you some real practical ways to stay in the investment model as you go on your journey towards 1%. Okay? All right. Well, I'll catch you at the next session. All right? We have a lot more to talk about with this.